Yo! What is up? What is happening? I hope everybody's doing well. So, we've got some Alliance War, and, when my mom used to let me go outside to play, she would warn me to look both ways when crossing the street. Don't take candy from strangers. But she never said that black bolts are dangerous. Now, upon learning this lesson, I will forever have eyes in the back of my head, watching out for that noisy, noisy bastard. So, this first node does not go the way I thought it would. So, we're bringing in two of our normal suspects, along with Luke Cage, because we have what I believe to be a bishop on the bleed. So it's Black Bolt, right? No worries. Just going with Blade. Easy peasy, right? Now this node is a strike back, which I forgot about, and so it's a pretty nasty L3, and the stun is pretty long. Even if I had Limber on, that would not have mattered. And at this point, I set my phone down and I consider all of my poor decisions leading up to this moment. And I was filled with regret. As you can see, I put my phone down at this moment and just was wallowing in my own feces. Yeah, what a way to start. Because then you have to go not only to your BG chat, but to the Alliance chat and say, hey guys, I just died to Black Bolt on the first node of my path. Awesome. I knew at this moment that we were going to lose by 1 attack bonus. Isn't that the way it is when you die, when you have a stupid death? You're like, yep, we're definitely losing by 1 attack bonus, and it's going to be my fault. Definitely. So I've come in for revenge. What's funny is the rest of this path goes like really well. Oh, so lesson learned. Read your node more than once. Don't just read it once. Read it more than once. So as you can see here, I'm looking at my node. I'm going to start Spidey. It's a unblockable L1. And it is a 5-star Yellow Jacket. I assume to be 345. Nobody these days is taking up Yellow Jacket to rank 4 for good reason. He's kind of a one-dimensional champ. I mean, I guess if you get caught by his L1, you're not going to have a great time, but it's been tried and true to, we've all figured that out. So, yeah, we're just going to go over here. I think we're going to throw a little Intercept and an L1. Yeah. He's got Limber, but that don't matter. I'm going to go in and just finish him off. So, now we're going to wait for full energy, and we're going to go at this all or nothing. Okay, so we are just tacking on some boosts here because we're going to do this whole path, all 4 or 5 nodes. Now I know this is a Kingpin. It's always a Kingpin. If there's a skill here, it is always a Kingpin. So I have pretty much, or yes, I've really dialed in how to fight Kingpin on this node specifically. And that is, you basically play him stun immune. You bait out heavies. It's the safest way to play. It is, you take chip damage, you take block damage. There's no way around that. With that said, you don't give up any deaths. You know, some people might parry and risk him, shrugging it off. I've done that, and I get parried or I intercepted or whatever. I just like to bait out his heavies and finishing combo mediums. So I'm going to try to refresh this taunt, which I do, but then he just shrugs it off, turns it into a rage. So at this point, I know that I have enough to, I've got my power drain. We actually get him, we taunt that L1 out, which is great. I'm able to throw this L2. One of them crits, which is always helpful. I think I'm going to bait out a heavy and throw my heavy probably the next combo. Yeah, the next combo. So I'm going to block, bait out heavy. There goes mine. And yeah, we're in good shape here. I'm going to bait out another heavy, and then I should be able to finish that fight off. Yeah, super smooth. So as you can see, that strategy, basically that strategy costs units, but you will not die. So yeah, I took about 40%, which it's worth it for me, obviously. That node is easy, but if you make a mistake, you pay for it, because you're really riding the line between controlling their power and while also playing aggressive enough to get that fight done with. So we're just going to go in here. We're going to, get our health back up. I've been thinking about this, Starkey is a fantastic Alliance War attacker, and I'm obviously not a perfect player by any means. So he's an expensive attacker. He's, really his block proficiency is pretty low. So he requires potions, definitely. So we got a Hulk Rags here. Just got to be careful with the smash, which means I'm not going to intercept, really. Baiting out heavies is okay. Like there, it's a double heavy. I'm glad I remembered that. I was able to, of course, my one intercept, he smashes me in the face. L1, super easy to dodge. Going to go in here, should be able to get in there and finish this fight. Yep. Anytime you see a 345 champ, Starkey, specially boosted up, won't take long. 15 hits, maybe. Okay, going in, next fight. Let's check that out. Okay, going in here, we got a 5-star skill again. So I know it's not Kingpin, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be Thor Rags. So on this node, the reason you would place Thor Ragnarok is because there's a pretty serious power drain on it, just kind of built into the node. So if you can't get your special off on his 20th hit, he gets a pretty serious power gain. Now, the nice thing about Thor Ragnarok is his L3 hits for nothing. So once I saw him and I was for sure, I knew it was going to be him. I knew that even if I wasn't able to get a power drain or get my special off, yeah. But as you can see, I should have probably gone in there. You saw, I could have brought him to 20, and I could have used my L2, but for some reason I didn't. I guess I was trying to play safe. So I'm trying to block, but then I evade. I'm like, you know what? Whatever, dude. I try to bait out this special, but I'm like, okay, you know what? This was, my fallback, and I actually got the 20% damage reduction, and I knew that this hits for, look at this. I think it hits less than so yeah, we get some shock damage, but I've got willpower, so it's only shocking me for 162. So the only thing with his shock damage is if he does touch you, then he can build shock charges against you. But I don't know. I wasn't stressed. He hits like a wet noodle. That's kind of his downfall as a defender. Like, even if he does get to that L3, no worries. Okay, so my alliance mate's gonna take on that bleed because he has a 6-star Luke Cage. So let's. I'm gonna go on to the mini boss fight though. So let's check that out. Okay, going in here, we got Green Goblin, 6-star. So we know it's he's gonna have a pretty fair chunk of health, about 150. We're gonna take Stark Spidey in here. We do wanna bring his health up. So I'm going to put a 6K into him and then probably 2 level 3s to max him out. Yeah. So the reason you bring Starky into this node is because it is kinetic reactor. So if you're dealing with anybody else who can't evade those specials, it's not going to be a very good time. So I know it's a limber node as well. So I'm going to build up some poise. I also, for the most part, I'm going to bait out heavies because I know he's probably he's probably got limber maxed. So these stuns aren't going to really last for very long. So I'm probably only going to get a few, maybe 2 or 3. So kind of keep that in mind, knowing that I'm going to bait out heavies. Just going to play it safe, definitely not punishing any of those L1s. He's going to be regenning, but that doesn't mean you need to, go ham and play super aggressive. You can just kind of, make this fight last a little longer, and just do your thing. Don't get too crazy, It is a power drain, so we're just going to be using lights and mediums to take him down. I think that was my last. That's definitely going to be the last Dex or last parry stun I'm going to have enough time to get in for. But hopefully we can just bait out some heavies. The nice thing about, oh yeah, I do use that power drain. That's right. That was a little risky though. That was down to the wire. I think in the future, I probably won't risk that unless it's with my, maybe first 3 parries. But so now we're just playing, bait in the heavy game. I'm going to bait out this L2. Which is simple enough, and he's coming down now. Now I'll just get a little intercept off, yeah, I mean Green Goblin as a mini boss, I think people should probably stop placing him there. He's super easy. So yeah. Anyways, so that was the war. We we unfortunately took a loss here. We've got about 6 wars left, so we got to tighten things up. We lost by more than 1 attack bonus, so my Black Bolt blunder wasn't the deciding factor. Anyways, guys, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the war, and I'll check you later. Peace!